Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to do solving systems of equations by substitution. So you already did graphing. Now we're going to do substitution. Then the last one is elimination. So I'm going to go through 3 different problems on this video, and so you can watch all 3, or you can just watch one, and then I'm just repeating, so you can just kind of see it a few more times. So the main thing that you're going to look for when you're solving systems by substitution is you need to have a variable by itself. Okay, and it doesn't matter which variable, it can be x or y, it just has to be by itself. Okay, so like on this problem, you can see right here I have y by itself. Here, this one I have y by itself in that equation. And on this last one, I have x by itself. Okay. If you don't already have a variable by itself, a lot of times you won't use this method. But if you have to use this method, if it tells you specifically to, then you just have to get the variable by itself. Get one of them by itself. Okay, so what we're going to do on this first problem here is I'm going to take everything that y equals, so that whole thing, and I'm going to put it in place of the y in the other equation. Okay. So that means I'm just going to take that whole thing. So I'm going to have my 3x minus, and then I'm going to take this whole thing and substitute out the y and put in 6 minus 2x equals 9. Okay, and what that does is it makes it so we only have one type of variable and then you can solve. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so I'm going to take, so this is like a -1 right here, okay, in front of this parentheses. So I'm going to distribute that -1. So I'm going to have 3x, and then -1 times 6 is -6. -1 times -2x is a positive 2x. Okay, next step, I need to combine my like terms. So those are my x's. So 3x plus 2x is 5x minus 6 equals 9. Okay, and then I'm going to get my x by itself to solve for x. So I do the opposite of subtracting 6, which is to add 6. And that's going to, add 6. Wait a second. Let me fix this. Got a little ahead of myself there. Okay, so I'm going to add 6 there. So this is 0. So I'm going to have 5x equals 9 plus 6 is 15. Then this is timesing 5 times x, so I do the opposite, which is to divide. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, so x equals 3. Okay, so that's half of your answer. We still need to finish and see what y equals. Okay, so I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to use this equation. So I'm going to bring it all the way down here, and I'm going to say y equals 6 minus 2, and I'm going to take what x equals now and substitute it in for the x right there. Okay, so then you just have to simplify this. So we have y equals, and then 6 minus 2 times 3 is -6. So 6 minus 6 is 0. Okay, so my ordered pair then, my x comes first, so it'd be 3 and 0. Okay, all right, so I'm going to do the exact same thing on this one. So my y is by itself, so I'm going to take everything that y equals, we're going to substitute it in for the y right there. So this is going to be x plus, and then we're going to take all of this. So 3 minus 3x equals -3. Okay, so this is like a +1 times everything in there, which really isn't going to change anything. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite it without the parentheses. So x plus 3 minus 3x equals -3. Okay, and then again, combine my like terms. So I have my x and my -3x, so x minus 3x is going to be -2x. And then plus 3 equals -3. Okay, and then I just need to solve for x. So I do the opposite of adding 3, which is to subtract 3. So that's 0. So I'm going to have negative 2x equals negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6. And then I'm going to do divide by negative 2. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. So x equals negative 6 divided by negative 2 would be a positive 3. Okay, so there's the first part of my answer. And then again, we need to take this equation. And by the way, you could do it with either equation. I always just pick the one that has the variable by itself. So you could do it with this one too if you wanted. But I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to bring it all the way down. And we're going to have y equals 3 minus 3, and then we're going to substitute this in there. And so we'll have another 3 there. Okay, and then you just have to simplify. So we have y equals negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, so it's going to be 3 minus 9. That's going to be y equals negative 6. Okay, so that means your ordered pair for this one, you have a 3 for your x and a negative 6 for your y. That would be your answer. All right, so then the last one here. So this one, the process is the same, but we're starting with a different variable because it's our x by itself. So we're going to take everything that x equals, and we're going to put it in place of the x right there. Okay, so I'm going to have 4 plus y minus 2y equals 10. Okay, so again, this is like a positive 1 in front of the parentheses. If I multiply that through, it's not going to change anything. So I'm just going to rewrite it without my parentheses. And then we have to combine our like terms, which are our y's this time. So 1y minus 2y is negative 1y. So I'm going to have 4 minus 1y equals 10. Then we have to solve for y. So I have a positive 4 here, so to get rid of that, I'm going to have to do the opposite, which is to subtract it. So I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides, makes that 0. So I still have a negative in front of my y. Okay, so that's a negative y equals 10 minus 4 is 6. And then this is like a negative 1. That's multiplying the y, so I have to do the opposite of that, which is to divide by negative 1. So y equals 6 divided by negative 1 is negative 6. So there's the first part of my answer right there. Okay, so then to get the second part, I'm going to take my equation, one of my equations, and bring it all the way down here. And then I'm going to substitute this y into that equation. Okay, so I have x equals, and it's going to be 4 plus, and then we substitute in what I have for y, which is negative 6. Okay, so x equals, and 4 plus negative 6 is negative 2. So there's the second part of my answer right there. So to write that as an ordered pair, the x always comes first. So it's negative 2, and then the y is negative 6. Okay, so anyway, I hope that helped. And remember, with all of these videos, if you just send me an email and let me know what you learned just in one quick sentence, you get some extra credit. Take care.